and Skittles and bubble gum. It's just not gonna. It's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what that's the model we think. You know what I mean? When we're immature, if you will. You know what I mean? When we go, okay, I go to church, everything is gonna be okay. No, but that very thing is going to be challenged.
That's
you know what I mean?
I really had to learn. I really had to understand that even though bad things are happening in life, God, it doesn't mean that you don't love me. It doesn't mean that you aren't with me. Bad things are going to happen. And people would say, well, why be a Christian if you're going to go through things the same way that somebody who is not a Christian is going to go through it? Well, because I have God to hold on to through it. I'm not just going through it to go through it, but I have God in the midnight hour. I have that assurance. I know that it's going to be okay. I know that all things is going to work together for my good. And so that is why, even though I know that there's going to be bad things that happen in life, I know that God is in control ultimately.
Awesome. Amen. I like that. I really like that. That is totally awesome. And most people fail to understand that even with the bad things, sometimes the bad things is for the glory of God to be revealed in our lives. So we look at that as an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like everybody look at it like, oh, why is this happening to me? Why not me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm who you say I'm to be and who I am in you, then you have to show up. And that challenges us. Because building a relationship with God, and I'm telling you guys, you got to read this book, but building a relationship would challenge you and for make you to understand that sometimes standing in God is harder than just going out and doing your own thing. You know what I mean? Like to just allow God to do it for me. That is one of the key things that I feel that a lot of Christians, us as Christians, we lose hope of. Allowing God to be God. Yes. And allowing me to take that back seat. Yes. And without that relationship and building that relationship, we'll never know that. We'll never know that. Okay, so let me keep it. So what all right, so we got the differences, we got all that. What motivated you? Like I gotta put this book on, I gotta put what God is doing on paper. Like what motivated you to step out of, if you allow me, your comfort zone? To say, you know what, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and I need to put and let the world know what is going inside of what God is doing inside of me and how he's changing me. What motivated you to write this book?
Well, when I started writing a book in August of 2019, I didn't know that I was writing what would become my next book. I published my first book, Crack a Window, Homes and Humans Need Ventilation, in March of 2019. And in August, I was invited onto a radio show to talk about it. And the host asked me a question that he asked all of his guests. When did you have your Romans 12:2 experience? And for those who may not be familiar, Romans 12:2 is, be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so when he asked me when did I have that experience in my life, when I really thought about it, I realized that I had gone through that transformative place in my life around that time. And so we went on to have a conversation about just being in a relationship with God and just the difference that it had made in our Christian walk. So fast forward about a week later, I was home in bed on my way to sleep, and God just began to bring that conversation back to my mind. And as he brought it back to my mind, he just began to lay stuff in my spirit about being in a relationship with him. And so I know, like, you're creative and you're a pastor, so I know you get things that just kind of come to you at the most, random times. You could be on a treadmill, washing dishes, and you'll just get like a thought. And so usually I'll just jot it down on a piece of paper. I might even send a text to myself, but it was just so much that God